So getting into biblical examples of how different witches use these things. We have the witch of En-Dor use knowledge. In 1 Samuel chapter 28, verse 7. Then said Saul unto his servants, seek me a woman that hath a familiar spirit, a demon, that I may go to her and inquire of her. And the servant said unto him, behold, there is a woman that hath a familiar spirit at En-Dor. 1 Samuel 28, chapter 7. And we know what happened there. She was a necromancer. This is an area of knowledge called necromancy. So she supposedly saw Samuel come up from the dead. Now, Saul did not see Samuel come up from the dead. Saul saw a demon. Or heard a demon. Later on in that passage, Saul perceived that it was Samuel. Whenever the witch at En-Dor said, I see an old man wearing a mantle. Well, that's vagary right there. That's vagary right there. But she had him. She had him. Going along, Simon used sorcery. Acts chapter 8, verses 9 through 11. But there was a certain man called Simon, which before a time in the same city used sorcery and bewitched the people of Samaria, giving out that himself was some great one, to whom all may give heed, from the least to the greatest, saying, this man is the great power of God. And to him they had regard, because that of long time he had bewitched them with sorceries. Okay? That's the combination. That's bonding of potions. So in some way, shape, or form, they willingly drank that poison and regarded him as that. That's the thing with all of this stuff. And I'm gonna do a little caveat here. All of the things within witchcraft and in New Age and with all that stuff depends upon us. It depends upon our mind. If you agree by keeping a passive mind, you have made an agreement with the person or persons trying to dominate you. When you're in agreement, you are under their dominion. Eve agreed with the serpent. She was under his dominion. Legal right for that demon to work in her life. Adam gave over his mind to Eve. He agreed with her. Dominion. Legal right for these things to be there. For my part, for what I did, all I had to do was just nudge the truth a little bit out of Christians that didn't know their Bible or didn't know how to rightly discern the Word. All I had to do was to get them to agree on something. One little thing, because I was a nice guy. And man, I could just charm people like crazy. And whenever I did that, I knew I had them. So it came back to that passage that we read at the very beginning. Precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. I knew that all I had to do was just do a little more, and a little more, and a little more. Just nudge them so far, and then they're in the darkness. And I did that very, very well. Thank God for Jesus Christ who saved me. Thank God that I came to him, because I was a child of the devil before I came to Christ. I'm a new creation, thankfully. Jezebel was a witch that used words. 2 Kings chapter 9, verse 22. And it came to pass when Joram saw Jehu that he said, is it peace, Jehu? And he answered, what peace, so long as the whoredoms of my mother Jezebel and her witchcrafts are so many. Okay, so we've established that Jezebel was a witch, and she was practicing witchcraft. Her particular thing, her particular tool that she used to manipulate and intimidate were her words. So Jezebel used curses. Well, let me set the whole stage with this, going to 1 Kings chapter 19, verses 1 through 3. Now, the context of this is that Elijah had his battle with the prophets of Baal, and they couldn't make the fire happen. God had the fire happen. So what happened to those prophets, and rightfully so, I love that part, and I know it sounds kind of bloody, but Elijah took them all, let none of them escape, and killed them all by the river. And Elijah said unto them, take the prophets of Baal, let not one of them escape. And they took them, and Elijah brought them down to the brook of Kishon and slew them there. So he took all of them there. And then we read in the next chapter, And Ahab told Jezebel all that Elijah had done, which right then and there says how much he was under the influence of this particular witch. Why would he do that? That's a military thing. Those prophets of Baal were doing their thing for Israel. This was a government thing. Why would he take government things to his wife? And Ahab told Jezebel all that Elijah had done, and withal how he had slain all the prophets with the sword. Then Jezebel sent a messenger unto Elijah, saying, So let the gods do to me, and more also, if I make not thy life as the life of one of them, by tomorrow about this time. And when he being Elijah, saw that, he arose and went for his life, and came to Beersheba, which belongeth to Judah, and left his servant there. Many commentators have wondered why in one part of the book, in one part of the Bible, he is so confident in slaying the prophets of Baal, and then all of a sudden he ducks tail and runs. It's a curse. She cursed him through a messenger. Spirit of fear is within that curse. I get into more of the spirit, unclean spirits, later on in this service. There are 15 of them. One of them was a spirit of fear. And Elijah agreed with that particular curse, and because he agreed, he allowed dominion to leave him and gave dominion over to the spirit of fear. That's why he tucked tail and ran. I've known witches. I'm not talking about the witches on YouTube. I'm not talking about the TikTok witches, the white witches, the good witches, the Glenda, the good witch, or the whatever. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about, and I've worked with and dealt with, real deal witches that deal with curses. And they are the real deal. They can cause harm. Because of what they do in defiling themselves, they gain favor with demons, and demons will work with them as long as demons see that there is a need for them. That's the absolute truth. And then Jezebel manipulated. We remember a story that Jezebel sat with her husband. Why are you so sad? And Ahab wanted a garden, and one guy wouldn't give him a garden. Okay? So we come to 1 Kings chapter 21, verses 5 through 7. But Jezebel his wife came to him and said unto him, Why is thy spirit so sad, that thou eatest no bread? Now, I see her as soothing tones, but we can also see it as like she was like chastising him. Why are you so sad? And either way, she was using her words to sort of get in there, to find out what's going on. Why is so sad, and why hast thou eaten no bread? And he said unto her, Because I spake unto Naaman and the Jezreelite, and said unto him, Give me the vineyard for money, or else, if it please thee, I will give thee another vineyard for it. And he answered, I will not give thee thy vineyard, or my vineyard. And Jezebel his wife said unto him, Dost thou not govern the kingdom of Israel? Arise and eat bread, and let thy heart be merry. I will give thee the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite. What does she have any business doing in government matters? You know what happened after that? She convinced people and even the elders to find something against this guy and stone him to death. And through his death, he got the vineyard. She manipulated and intimidated. Ahab followed his wife, who was a witch.